Drop it.
And do you want to share something what the early startups or someone who wants to start a new business should not do things? Like some three or five things if you want to share.
There's a lot of things because I've done a lot of mistakes in that.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
First thing first, as I said, don't jump directly into it. You should not jump into it directly. Think through. Again, as I'm saying, don't just jump because someone is doing startup. It looks good, or you have a $1 billion idea, and then this idea gonna change the world. You know, focus on the idea and doing a little bit of research is help. So don't jump directly to start that solution. It will not work in 99% of the times. And don't just hire someone because you need them. Okay. Don't just find co-founder on the social media and then work it out. It's not going to be an easy task to do. Have the team culture and all those things. Finding co-founder is very difficult job. Don't haste it. Don't rush it. Okay. And again, don't sit on the equity also. If you're finding a right co-founder who is having a brilliant talent, who's more talented than you, it's okay to make them the CEO of the company also. I did that. I was not the CEO in the early stage at Foreign Admits. Now I'm being made as the CEO of the Foreign Admits. Okay. Who is the CEO earlier? I will not tell the name as of now. Let's it be a secret for a while. So yeah. So again, yeah, taking out the right advice from the right people. Don't jump on getting to these events and these boot camps and all. You know, as a startup founder, you're already penniless, so you should try to find out events which are more merit based than money based. Okay. I never took part in any of the events which charged me any substantial amount of money. Okay. There is a better ROI that I looked at. Fabio was born in a global entrepreneurship summer school in Shanghai, where they actually paid me a good scholarship to go there. Look, if anyone's charging you for certain things that they want to give you, then it's a business. It's not merit recognized. That's what I feel. Until and unless the cost is very much justified to give you something which is a highly valuable return, like like $50 and getting featured on national television. You know, but that $50 was not actually to be getting featured on national television. That $50 is just for the operations cost. Getting featured on national television, which Foreign Admits did, was way beyond getting featured on Doordarshan. You might be seeing Ramayana there. So I was featured on Doordarshan that way. You know, so those are the things that you need to understand the ROI aspects. There are a lot of good events that you can take part in to help you understand these journeys and all. So don't go in these expensive, boot camps and all those events if you don't have the money for it. If you have the money, it's good. It's your choice because those are also not bad, but then it requires someone who has good financial capabilities. I didn't had it, so I didn't go for it. Many have it, many manages it, they still go for it. Okay, and yeah, don't rush your funds. Don't rush your funding. Fundraising is a full time exercise. I'm doing it for past 3 months as of now because we are raising funds as of now. So it's a full time exercise. It takes a toll on your business also. Your business may get affected if you are the one raising funds who is running the business. So I need to ensure that someone who is running the business and then I can go on fundraising. And again, if the VC says yes, we'll see to it. There's any kind of hypothetical deadlines that you are getting, consider it almost a no. Until unless there's a clear talk, let's discuss tomorrow this time, then only believe it. Else everything is fugazi, as I said. I've seen it, that's why I can tell you, from my own experiences. If your startup is good enough, you will find investors committing numbers, committing dates, committing to review the pitch decks by themselves. Okay, calling you, texting you, if your startup is good enough. Okay, want to see an example? See Khata Book. One of the very known Indian startup. My friends did it, multi-million-dollar company now. So yeah, your product has to be really good enough. So focus on the traction. Don't focus on Facebook likes and all. Facebook likes, Instagram followers are good for only startups which are doing social media stuff where it matters. For majority of the startups, these doesn't matter. You know, so focus
Yes.
on numbers of the customers. Okay. Yeah.
Right. And like when we talk about mentors, there are a lot of gurus, self-proclaimed gurus on Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, we know a lot of them. So yes, this is kind of a trap, and this is a business for them, and it's kind of a business which can completely ruin your business, right? So get into right hands and don't fall into such traps. I want to talk to you about the team you're working with. So I think 90% or 100% of your team is remote, right? So at this time, when everyone is working from home, when everyone is working remotely, so like, do you want to share something from your experiences? How are you managing? How are you so good at managing a remote team?
So yeah, I think remote working is something I learned in my college days when I was doing my first international internship in a US-based mid-sized company called U-Turn. So that's where my first learning curve happened. How per hour billing happens in US. So how do you manage your productivity, your efficiency? How do you report your work? How do you plan all your work? So I worked almost like 2 years in that company as an intern. So that has given me a prior exposure to how to do remote work. And while working at Foreign Admits, it was also the need because my co-founder lived in US. My previous co-founder was living in Amsterdam, and I was in India. So it was a three continental partnership that we had. So we knew that we want to do this company, and we knew that something has to be sorted out. So thankfully, my other co-founder was really good with business processes. So we started up certain processes for ourselves. Our commitment level was really high. We were very much committed that this day, this is the time slot that we need to be in. We plan it for next 3 4 weeks. And if there is a change in time slot, we inform each other in time so that there is a quick arrangement of the alternative time slots can be made. We utilize a lot of technology. I am always like searching for technologies which can solve a lot of problems. And we use like let's say the platform like Zoom, Airtable, Slack, Flock, Sana, Trello. There's a lot of tools and project management softwares that you can easily get now, more easily available and more publicized because of the remote working. But then these are the things that really helped us evaluate our work also. These are the things that helped us put metrics into place, remove the social awkwardness of asking what did you do, because everything you are logging it down. That it also helps us to self reflect whether as a founder level where we also enough contributing enough to the company or not. Sometimes it's a bad productive week. You have to be open and shameless about it. Hey, I didn't do any work this week. I was just loitering around and doing nothing in the company. So it happens. But then these tools and the things is essentially being followed in large organizations also. That gave us an inspiration. Companies like InVision, where 98% of the company was once remote, only 2% were living in the offices. So I actually studied the vision of the business model and the working model of InVision Buffer in US, and that's where we tried to build our team. Definitely hiring a person who understands remote working and commit to it was very difficult. Our hiring of interns was on the metrics of 1 is to 120 plus in every profile. 120 shortlisting and interviews, one hired. So it was very difficult, but then it helped us hire one of the best interns in our careers. We have seen some amazing guys working with us, doing some really, really good work. An intern who didn't know anything about content writing, just knew a little bit basics of how to write good English, had published an ebook lately with us. So those are the kinds of interns that we had. The learning curve was really good. We have been also a little patient with them because we need to make them understand how remote working happens. So at founders level, there have been a lot of efforts to put processes, to put standard operating procedures in purpose, to establish more professionalism in communications, to do every call on Zoom on a recurring basis every week, to organize the meeting in only 40 minutes, not even a 41 minutes. That's where the Zoom helped. 40 minutes meeting, not even the second meeting. Those were the things that we actually tried. Sometimes we failed, so we had to wait for the next meetings to happen, and it really put a effort on ours, but that's where we as founders also understood it. So when this time actually came in, we have a full-time employee in Pune. We have interns joined in from Northern America, from Canada, from Ireland, from Spain, from Australia, and different other places. So it also helped those international talents to join in. It actually helped up open the market to hire from anywhere, and they can work from anywhere. So it was a very, very flexible way of working actually. So it's a blessing in disguise, this kind of situation for us, when we are the ones who are benefiting. Our business is also designed to be online. All the career counseling, all the admission assistance that we do, people used to go to these career counselors' offices, wait for hours, and to get the guidance. Now they can get it on their cell phone with just one touch. So those were the things that are we, you know, actually merged in the processes to make it a very, very streamlined process. Bi-weekly meetings, monthly evaluations, and building a psychological openness to, report what you have done, tasks for the day, tasks for the weeks, self reflections. Those were the things that actually helped improve the productivity. And then, yes, occasional calls with every team member helps to reduce the stress, to just to get to know what they're doing. So those are the things that really helps. And again, one important thing that I would want people to know: trust your team members, and trust your founders. There has to be a two-way trust channel that builds in. If you failed, take accountability, take those scoldings. If you, as founders, you failed, apologize. Hey, sorry, I didn't do this thing very well. I'm sorry. I'll send you the things in the next 1 hour. That happens.
Yes. So, when I talk to a lot of people who are working in corporate, now they're working from home. So they what usually do is that they just disconnect the call with their manager. They say my internet is not working. I mean, they make excuses, right? So if there's a person working at the office, so I can actually go and poke him or her that you are not working, that I want this in 1 hour or not. So how do you make sure that the other person, your intern or your other team member, is working when they're not in front of you?
Uh, Again, technology plays a lot of role there, but yeah, internet is something that we have to bank as of now, and that's where the culture comes into the play. As I said, understand the culture of the team. Are they really committed, and they're struggling with no internet, or are they just making excuses? So that's where the cultural hirings, that is something startups usually the funded one don't follow easily, and they fall into this trouble. Is if the candidate is struggling, you will definitely understand with one call that what's the issue and what's the matter. Certain times, and again, planning for these things help. So we also planned for power cuts. Where if there's a power cut, you need to put in the certain amount of work that what's being missing, so that we put our timelines with a 3 day, 5 day, 7 day buffer. Also, we keep those buffer times so that even if anything happens, you have those 3 days to make up. Okay, for any
Yes.
of the work that we do. So those buffer times actually help you to plan on the executional role. It's good to deliver, 3 days before, or three. It's not good to deliver after 3 days. So we take those 3 days extra in accountability and then plan our task, so that even if anything happens, there is 3 days to sort these things out.
So thank you so much, Nikhil. Thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. It was a lovely talking to you. Thank you again. So if you want to follow Nikhil, go to the description. You can find all his social media links in the description. Go and follow him. If you want to poke him, if you want to start something, if you have questions for him, go and poke him. Feel free to message him. Feel free to connect with him. And it was a pleasure talking to. Thank you so much, Nikhil, for giving us your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shivansh. It was really amazing to be on the session. And if anyone has any queries or something, yeah, let's chat. Let's chat and see how can I help. But yes, please, hi, bro. Please don't use that. This session would not be a good, thing for us.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. All right. Thank you so much, Nikhil. Have a good day. Bye bye.